Hello everybody. Because of the great popularity of these, I thought I would do another video on them. This is a video on why you should always have some kind of a shade when you use an Aladdin lamp. And this is the very first Aladdin lamp that I purchased. I bought it in 2012 in Mount Victory, Ohio. It came with the shade. It's a Model 12. A very nice lamp. Did not require a whole lot of work to get it functional. Had to buy another burner for it because somebody had tried to cobble the original burner up to electrify the lamp, which to me kind of destroys the value and utility of the lamp because, as you can see, there are no wires going to this lamp and it's producing quite a bit of light. Very nice supply of light and heat. Part of the reason why I picked going ahead and doing one of these videos now is because it's almost 16 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and you get a couple of these lamps lit and you don't have to run the heater at all. You just get your heat from your light source, and the light is very good quality. So this was my first Aladdin lamp, and it very quickly introduced me to the fact that it's very important to have a shade on your lamp, unless you just enjoy staring at a blind 60-watt bulb with your bare naked eyeballs. Gets to be pretty unpleasant after a while. And this type of lamp is a lamp that works real great sitting on a table, like the middle of a dining room table or something, because of how high the shade is relative to the burner. If I get kind of level here, you can see how it is. So if I was, say, sitting in a chair and had this lamp sitting on a table like this bookcase that it's sitting on now, that was higher, if I was to glance over towards the lamp, I would be blinded because the lamp is high enough that my line of vision is going right up at the mantle, which is very unpleasant. And so this style of shade lends itself very well to situations where the lamp is sitting lower than you are, and it's designed to where it casts quite a bit of light down onto the surface that the lamp is sitting on. And as you can see, the way this shade is made, it throws off a lot of diffuse light up. So, very nice for general illumination in a room where it's sitting on a table and you're illuminating the surface of the table. Now, if I go over here, this is the second lamp I bought. I bought this in late 2012, early 2013 at Ashby's Antique Mall in Blackwell, Oklahoma, and very sad to say that the Ashby's Antique Mall is no longer with us. They closed, I want to say December 29th or December 30th of 2016, so they are no longer in the game. And that was a great place. I've bought quite a few Aladdins there. And this lamp was rather derelict when I got it. I used some Mother's Mag wheel polish to bring some shine back to the nickel-plated font here. Here's a view of the knob. So Model 9. I really didn't have to buy anything for this other than a wick razor and a wick. And also at Ashby's there were quite a few of these Fenton Shades. I believe this is a Fenton Shade. and so I bought a plain one for a Bradley and Hubbard center draught lamp that I've got, and I bought this one for this lamp because it had a tripod already, and thought this shade would look nice on it. And it's again same kind of deal here. The shade is at the same elevation as that shade is. Oh, there's the other Fenton shade I bought. And it's ideal for a situation where the lamp is sitting on a table that's lower than you are. If I was sitting at a table where the lamp was about at this angle of sight to me that you are seeing it right now, it's perfect. And then the surface is very nicely illuminated, so it works out quite well. And then it's throwing up some very nice diffuse white light up into the room, and it works out very well. So these are two examples of Aladdin's with glass shades. Let's take a look at some of the other shades that I like that most of my Aladdin lamps have. Okay, I'm here in the living room next to the VV17 here and the cottage clocks, and I've got a Aladdin that's wall mounted with a what's known as a Caboose Shade. And the original Caboose lamps do have a tripod. Nice thing about these lamps though is that you don't need a tripod. They've got a bracket that's part of the lamp there, where you can just mount the shade directly to the chimney. And if we come down here to where we're level with the level, you can see that this sits much lower relative to the burner. And in fact, you can adjust those three fingers there to make it sit even lower, to where it's almost level with the razor knob here for raising and lowering the wick. This is a Model 21C. This lamp would have originally had, this particular font would have originally had the notorious stamped steel Model C burner, but that's such a piece of junk. I found this new old stock 21C still in the box, unused, and decided this would be the perfect lamp for it. So there you go. And the neat thing about these, looks just like an electric lamp, doesn't it? Except it's got that glass chimney sticking up there. So very nice, wall mounted like this. I can either sit in this chair that's sitting under it and read a book quite comfortably, and the lamp's behind me there, and the light's coming down, and it's throwing a nice diffuse light up on the ceiling there, so it's very pleasant. Or if I'm sitting across the room on the couch, I'm a lower elevation than the lamp, but because of the distance and everything on the sight lines, I'm at no point going to be looking directly at the mantel if I glance across the room. So it's very nice to have these shades. I kind of value my sight, not having to be blinded every time I glance over somewhere or get up and walk across the room and have the lamp glaring out of the corner of my eye. So there's another example of a shade, and of course there's several different styles of these shades, and this is one of them, the Caboose Shades. And as you can see, this one's got the I think this one's called the Canada Geese shade. It's very nice. Let's look at another one. Okay, I'm now in the other corner of the room here, and sitting on top of the credenza, although it normally doesn't sit here when I want a lamp on this side of the room, I'll sit it over here. Is another Aladdin with another Caboose Shade, and this one here is just the plain shade. I'll turn this up a little bit, not too much. Don't want the flames to come through the mantle. And this is very nice. It provides some, you can see some nice general illumination on this side of the room here. Got the Fairfax quad over there. And very nice. Let's step back from it. Again, neat thing about these lamps, and you look at them like this, they look just like an electric lamp sitting there, except you'll see that there is no wire at all coming off of this lamp. And the light they put out is quite nice. It's like a little table lamp. A lot of heat coming off of this, so as long as you're running one of these things for light, your heater probably isn't going to come on. And just very, very nice. And also the you see this one here is adjusted to where it's sitting a little higher than the one was that we just looked at, but still very nice. Where this is sitting right here, I can sit on the couch and read quite comfortably from the light that it's casting off, or I can sit in the chair that's to the left of here in front of the Triumph and easily see. It's very nice. So like I said, you want to have one of these shades. These are some kind of a parchment shade. It's been treated to withstand the heat, and these are the Caboose Shades. They do have larger shades that do require a tripod. I've never used one. I'm sure they would be a lot like using one of the glass shades where they sit up fairly high relative to the burner, and therefore if the lamp is sitting somewhere that's higher than where you are at, your eyes are very likely to come in contact with the mantle. So let's go look at another one. Okay, we're back, and I'm here in the office. This is a pretty familiar place to most of you for watching the past several videos. And I've got an Aladdin sitting here on the desk in my office. I don't have it turned up very high. It's not really putting out a whole lot, relatively speaking. You can turn it up a little bit or turn it down, but it's at a good level where it's at. And as you can see, the surface of my desk is lit up quite well. I can sit here and look at a book quite easily, not strain my eyes at all. And if I happen to glance up, or if I'm sitting here looking down and looking up out of the corner of my eye, I'm not being blinded because of the parchment Caboose Shade. And you can see here I've got this one turned around where it's the joint in the shade is facing me. So we'll mess with that later. Anyway, but very nice to have shades for Aladdin lamps. It's makes a real world of difference, and like I said, it looks just like a little electric table lamp, other than the fact that there is a chimney sticking out the top of the shade, and it's producing quite a bit of heat. But you know, you get one of these in every room of the house, or you know, one in each of the major rooms, your heater's not going to kick on at all. And it's pretty nice, especially if you're moving around from room to room, or if you've got a person or two in each room. Also, it makes sense, but it's pretty nice, and I wouldn't run these without the shades. I like to, I have quite a few that don't have the shades, because not having the shades on there for display purposes is nice, because you can see the lamp and see the construction. But as far as actually using one of these, yes, gotta have that shade on there. Don't like staring at a naked light bulb, and don't like staring at a bare mantle. You gotta look at the mantle every once in a while and make sure that the flame is adjusted okay, but not that often. And if you keep everything set up right, you really shouldn't have any trouble. That's my Aladdin advice here is if you have a shade, a glass shade, or these parchment caboose shades, I like these a lot. Use them. It adds quite a bit to the enjoyment of the lamps and makes them a lot easier on the eyes to use. And they're just such an interesting lamp. You know, that's kerosene in there, and it's a freaking modern table lamp for all practical intents and purposes, and very nice to use in the winter. I don't have anything this good for summertime power outages to use that's worth a damn. But for power cut in the winter, set. You know, I've got a couple of these, and I've even got a couple of the Aladdin blue flame heaters. Those work real nice, and they're basically just that burner there, just enlarged a bit. So very simple, very proven, very reliable. I heartily endorse Aladdin products. You can buy a new one, or you can buy one of these old ones. At some point, we'll have to do a little walkthrough on the on a Model 12 and one of these Model Bs, since they seem to be the most common Aladdins that you'll find out there in the wild. But for now, this concludes the Aladdin video. I've rambled on long enough. Thank you for watching.